Namaste. The topic of Ganesh Chaturthi and especially of Ganesh is very fascinating, isn't it? It is a god that everybody seems to love, especially as a character. So, and people personalize it. They will say Ganpati or Ganu or Ganudev, whatever. But there's a lot of personalization about it. And there's a lot of love for this particular deity as no other. Now, while this may be so, but have you thought about the fact that what could make a deity with the head of an elephant as a god worth praying to and wishing for all wishes, hoping for all wishes to come true? What is this? Why has this character been created? Is there any background to it? Yes, we know the background. As Bharatiya, we know the story of how Parvati Ma, while wanting to have a bath, she kept a guard outside. Well, surely this would not have been the first time she had a bath. But we are told that she needed a guard outside. And so initially she, simply asked Nandi to become the guard. It was the simplest thing to do because he was available and he was strong and he was devoted. But then we know that when Shivji came and he said, hey, come on, let me into my own home, he allowed him. And Ma thought, then what is the use of having such a guard, because the guard has to follow his duty immaterial of who comes, even if it be the owner of the house itself. And so then we are told that she actually takes out the entire, the turmeric which she had applied before her bath, and all of that then served, that paste served to make an image which then became a young boy. And that young boy who stopped Shivji from entering, his head was severed because Shivji tried to first coax him with kind words, and then when he refused to no matter what, he considered it an affront and beheaded him. And Ma was extremely upset till finally she was appeased by saying that we cannot put his human head back, but we will find the next best thing. And it turned out to be an elephant head, of course, not of a live elephant, but an elephant that was already dying or already dead, with the face to the north, and that then becomes a permanent feature of that which we know as Ganesh, who would be then respected and regarded as the first god to be prayed to before anyone else. Right? This is the story. Now what does this represent? Now Parvati Ma represents the mother of all creation. And all creation starts from the Muladhar Chakra. So Muladhar Chakra represents the grounding or the first Mula of all creation. So Ma actually represents the energy of Muladhar Chakra. And that turmeric is nothing but the aura represented over there, the paste represented by turmeric over there. And so what happens is when she puts Nandi is actually stands for divine attunement, because he is already fully attuned to Shivji. So for him, divinity is everywhere. It's not just Shivji, his master. Divinity is everywhere. So whether it's outside or inside makes no difference. He's already attuned. But this divine attunement gets replaced by a boy. Now that boy initially represents ego. And therefore that ego had to be lopped off, to be chopped off, before that ego is represented by that which is humble and still in complete alignment with the Divine Mother and the Divine Father, which is the Ganesh head. Now, why the elephant is a good question to ask, right? Because the elephant is something that represents all that India stands for. The elephant is social. The elephant is humble. The elephant is a very kind creature. The elephant has all the emotions of a lay Bharatiya. But there are more reasons than that. The elephant is a huge creature, but which is mild-mannered. So it doesn't matter how great you are, you should always have the humility. But there are two more scientific reasons. One is the elephant leads the way for many other creatures. You know that? So elephant is considered a keystone species of our Bharatiya environment. Yes. That means an elephant is the one who is able to tell where water is. So you could say that elephants, where they are, the forest flourishes. That's the reason why in ancient times there were special forests that were called elephant forests. But there's one more scientific reason. Our rishis, as you know, had tremendous power without even the instruments for it in terms of actual physical instruments. So one of the things that they realize, if you take a ventral view of the brain, okay, with all its lobes, and then you also consider the part that links to the spinal cord and the spinal cord itself, the entire ventral view of it looks like an elephant, my dear friends. That elephant head is something that looks visibly there if the brain were to, one were to take a ventral view of it. Now think about it. So the buddhi of the brain of the human mind is represented by that elephant both physically and symbolically. Hence the elephant. But there's one last reason I want to tell you. Why Ganesh? Gana has got many meanings. One of the popular meanings is all creatures are Gana. So sab aage usme. But the other reason is Gana is also a term given to our indriyas, to our sense organs. The one who is able to help us lead our sense organs, right? Literally take charge and control them is Ganesh. I hope this has been insightful for you. Have a wonderful Ganesh Chaturthi with your family members and all your loved ones. Dhanyavad.